And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Medicare Space live show here in San Antonio, Texas. We have a new co-host with us because our other one is feeling a little under the weather today. My name is Victoria Cabrera with the Medicare Space live show. And today we have sitting next to us. Who do we have today?
Hello, I'm Desiree Castro. Y'all probably seen me around or not, but my name is Desiree and I'm taking in place of Sylvia. Sylvia, I'm coming for you permanently.
Oh, I like it. And who do we have next to Desiree this morning?
Adriana Rodriguez. Can you hear me?
Sorry. A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Sorry.
The original OG gangsta. How are you guys doing this? How are you guys doing this morning? I hope you're doing really, really good. I hope you have a lot of plans for the weekend coming up. What do you guys have going on this week?
It's too cold to do anything, in my opinion. I just go home and sleep every day because it's too cold. So,
well, that's good. You're staying out of trouble.
I told her she saves money that way.
Yeah, yes. I've saved money that way too because I've been sick I was sick. I'm not sick right now. Alert or whatever.
Yeah, disclaimer. What is the disclaimer?
Well, I don't know how much money I really save because I've been just getting food and not cooking. Even though I've been home, I don't cook.
Even though you have a fridge full of food?
Yes, I have a fridge
literally
full
just
of
talked
food,
about this yesterday.
and I don't cook. Something's wrong with me.
Chicken nuggets for days.
I don't even have that.
Ramen noodles for days.
That's right.
Yeah, I had one of those.
It's the good old days, right? Like the good old days when you first moved out and you were going through all that. Like,
well, Desiree's I'm very proud of Desiree. She's very young. She's not even old enough to drink yet.
No, she's not.
And she's on her own, paying her own bills, doing everything. So we're very proud of Desiree.
Very proud
here.
of her.
Well, thank y'all, but I should be cooking more often.
So Desiree was upset with Sylvia this week because Sylvia had to cancel. Well, I mean, I guess there was a good reason.
Well, I told you didn't hear me outside earlier, and I was like, "Ooh, Sylvia's gonna watch the show," and she's gonna be like, "Oh, she's so mad at me that they've replaced me."
Yeah.
I think Victoria just got me on the show to make it up to me.
No.
Because I was so upset. She was like, I guess you could be on the podcast. And I feel better.
But she says upset people, but her upset is like, I'm mad.
While she's smiling
with a big smile on her face.
Victoria, I'm so mad.
You won't believe what's going on.
I can't even take her seriously when she says that. And she's like, a couple F-bombs, but it just sounds so funny coming out of her mouth because it doesn't even sound like she's mad.
Yeah.
I was more mad at the fact that I put on slacks and did my hair than the fact that it got canceled because sometimes
she doesn't do that every day.
Well, Desiree's on top of the agents. Desiree helps us create community events out there she just started into her new role like a week and a half ago. So if you're a doctor or you're a dentist, if you're a community center, if you're a senior center, if you're anybody that works with seniors or that wants to partner with the Medicare Space on events, Desiree is actually going to be, what's your phone number?
Not your personal phone number.
210-905-4340. Took me a little bit.
Say it again.
210-905-4340.
And when are you available?
And I'm available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then email, of course, always Desiree at the Medicare Space. And then I will for sure be checking that every day. So if you need to get a hold of me, best way is call, but I also do email as well.
Nice. So if it's outside of business hours between Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., email her and then we'll get back to you. If it's urgent, definitely call the 866 number, 866-717-8683. And that'll go to one of us over the weekend, which we can navigate that phone call. So Desiree's going to be doing a lot for us when it comes to the event planning. She's already done a really good job of getting us into a couple of little fairs that are coming up in March. Yes. We have some doctor's offices we've been working with, setting up some lunch and learns. She's actually doing a really good job of helping us prepare like all the stuff we need for the lunch and learns and the agents that are working with us. Which I did tell her because I've been doing this quite a bit. I said, trust me, for every 10 opportunities you have, chances are 2 to 3 of them are going to cancel. It's just unforeseen
The
situation.
unforeseen stuff, yes. But like, we talk about this all the time. When you
Uh-huh.
make a commitment to do something, do it.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it's not always us. It could be the
Yeah.
doctor's office, and
That's the same goes for you, doctor's offices.
yes, we would.
Adriana.
I know they're like, never mind. They were already like, never mind. I'm not working.
well, it's like one of those things we talk about it all the time. Like, obviously the unforeseen stuff right now because we're dealing with a COVID, but when you make a commitment to do something, no matter what happens, you gotta do it.
You gotta pull through. Yeah, I agree.
It's one of those things that your word is everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Because you just don't know who's counting on you on the other side, right? Exactly. Like Desiree had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get her hair did.
Again, it was an unforeseen thing with Sylvia. So,
yes,
but
we're not calling her out. But I do have my slacks on right now, which never happened.
She's really upset that she had to wear these slacks. It must be really
you better get used to it. You better get used to it.
I look presentable when I have to. It's not like I'm a bum and I don't know how to dress. I do know how to dress.
Well, except when they see you back there.
Oh yeah, if y'all see me back there, whoa. And usually it's on Fridays, so I'm extra comfortable. Casual Fridays.
Instituted casual Fridays.
and today's all about Desiree. Desiree just passed her licensing exam. Mm-hmm. Was it last week? Actually, if you're looking to get licensed for health and life insurance, the turnaround has been very quick. We apply. So you took your test.
Yes.
And then the very next, 2 days later, because it was on a weekend, right? Mm-hmm. You went to go get your fingerprints on a Monday.
Yes.
No, on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. And I got my license by yesterday. So a week.
Yeah, it was way less than a week, right?
Yeah,
it was good.
For me to get my actual paper license. So now we're just getting contracted.
So that was probably I would say, would you say a good 30-day turnaround? Because with studying, with the licensing, the test, all of that. Yes, so if you're looking for an opportunity and getting into the health and life insurance space, it may or may not be with us because we don't just take any Joe Schmo off the streets.
We're super picky people.
I mean, we're about ambition, drive, self-sufficient, eagerness to want to do more,
take an initiative,
accountability, self-starter. And we could teach all those things in a sense, but we can't give you the willpower to do it.
That is very true.
And we people that communicate well. There's a few people that were
not a good fit
that we're going to possibly, because it's just they don't answer the phone or they don't respond. And and we just don't do, as much as, I'm all about production, but I'm also about commitment.
We talked about this yesterday.
I think
Did you?
Out of both of them, that's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
They learned that when I came into my new
role. This is the face she gives you when she tells you she's mad, by the way, if you're wondering where my face.
She squints and smiles.
Her face.
I love it. They didn't answer me. Victoria, they didn't answer me. I've called, I've texted, I left a voicemail. I'm just trying to help them.
Yeah.
And that's my pet peeve, communication.
Let me tell you something. Not every agency owner, there's a lot of good ones out there, but not every agency owner is going to hire a Desiree for people that are not employees. This normally only happens for people that are employed, because we have a lot of our partners, they call them downline partners. We try to service the people that have been with us the longest and maintain that relationship by providing them extra things that you normally don't get outside with other agencies. But Desiree's filled into her role very, very. What do you think, Adriana?
She's all right.
She's all right.
Adriana's a hater.
No, I'm not. I actually think she's doing really great. I think since the very beginning, since you hired her, I think I could see that. I could see that she was going to be a good fit.
Yeah.
So for sure. I think she's doing a great job.
This role was a mix of everything I wanted that I didn't know I wanted, but I knew I wanted, if that makes sense. So every job I had, I was always looking for this role and I didn't even know it. And then when I got it, I was like, whoa, this is literally everything I described ever. So now I'm super happy in the role I am.
Yeah. And we had to create the role because I'm like, okay, let me take what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And okay, I think that would be this. So
for sure.
we
Yeah,
try to
no,
do that.
I give her a hard time. I tell her I always talk crap to your face, but I talk amazing things behind your back.
Yeah.
I was like, I have nothing bad to say about her.
Yeah.
I don't have anything bad. I think it's funny because she makes me laugh. She talks crap to me, right? She'll say things to me, and it's just a back and forth. And I think at first Victoria was like, "What is going on?" I was like, "That's just how we are. That's how we talk to each other."
I'm like,
We're like a
be,
big sister, little sister kind of situation.
I'm like, Adriana, be nice. Be nice.
And then she's the worst when she comes to telling stories because I'll be like, Desiree, what are you doing? And then like she'll go and she'll text her, Adriana just yelled at me. And I'm like, what?
Yes. Sometimes
like,
she yells at me and
I'm
she's like,
Josh,
you're so dramatic. I'm like, no, you literally just yelled
I
at
said
me.
she over exaggerates, not dramatic. See
what
that's another.
This is what I walk into every day.
But it keeps things
all
interesting.
day.
It keeps things interesting, which maybe I shouldn't say here because I don't want anybody to steal my idea, but we were talking about this last night about putting a couple of our cool people, and by cool people I mean our seniors, in a home living together and kind of do like a real world situation. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be funny.
And then you know you have confessionals, so they're like talking crap about each other, like, hey, they used all my OTC, you know, over the counter stuff, or I would watch that.
Yeah, that would be really
think about
funny.
it. There's nothing like that for our cool people out there.
Well, that was
You'll
called
be
the
the
Golden
first one.
Girls, but
I know, but like, can you imagine putting a bunch of seniors into a home, into one house, and then you just film it?
you just let me tell you, you go to and if you're a senior, if you're a senior watching, when I used to work the senior centers, it was like the real world situation. I'm going to tell you that. I'd run into people and I'd get late, you know, and this was not just one or two. This was a lot of different senior centers. And I would get like ladies being like, oh, see that lady over there? She stole my boyfriend. Or like they'll say stuff like that. Yeah. Cause you got a lot of single people at the senior centers. So there's a lot of chisme that happens at the senior centers, a lot of interesting stories.
They
of
go
course,
there to socialize.
Yeah. And yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I remember one time just like, yeah, I was going to invite that guy. He was supposed to go with like, cause they would have like Valentine's dances and like, she's like, yeah, he was going to come to my table, but then he sat at her table. Like
that's like high school
I'm
all
like,
over
and
again.
then that's when I was like, wow, this never stops.
Right? Like you would think you get older, right? You're more mature and you're over it, but it actually keeps on going.
Let us know in the comments. Good morning, everybody that's joining in. Let us know in the comments if you're a senior and you do you deal with that kind of stuff.
Well, I promise Victoria and Adriana, I'll put y'all in a house together when y'all get older.
Oh, seriously.
I'll take care of y'all.
But I'll be much older.
Oh
Well,
my God. No,
you will
you're
not be much
that
older than
older
Adriana.
me. We're still spring chicks.
I'll take care of y'all. If
Well,
y'all want me to put y'all in a reality house,
Oh my gosh. that
Leave
would
it
be
up to me.
So much fun. I would be like, Victoria, you're going to clean that up, Victoria, because it's been there since yesterday.
Just go to our house and that's Carmenza harping on me about not watching. No,
Oh
she
my
doesn't get
goodness.
after me. She does not get after me.
She's the best wife ever.
She
She's amazing.
is.
She's got as a matter of fact, she's got a
birthday
coming
birthday
up.
weekend.
yes.
So we are wishing
happy
Miss
birthday.
Carmenza
Carmenza.
happy birthday for sure.
Happy birthday to my wife. Yeah, she's I saw a card the other day, but I saw a card and it said like, what did it say? It was like, you look, I don't know. It was like I don't know. It was like, you look younger. Like everybody always tells you look young for your age or whatever. And then it was never mind.
She doesn't even look her age. She's
no,
like,
she doesn't at all.
you look super young.
What is it supposed to look
Yes.
like? I'm not even saying the age.
Don't
What is
say it.
It's supposed
She's
to
gonna
look
be
like.
like,
I
babe,
don't
I can't
know.
believe you said it out loud.
No.
know.
She
don't
does
know.
take care of herself. She's in a running group.
Yeah.
Victoria was telling us. so-
Yeah, she's in a running group and she has a facial routine every night. She'll
Oh.
tell me, "Did you wash your face?" I'm like, because like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, go to bed without showering, you know, because I don't feel like it's been cold. So like during winter, sometimes I don't shower before bed. And she always gets on me, "Did you wash your face? Did you wash your face?" I'm like, because she'll put like stuff on my face to make it stay young looking. And I'm like, I didn't wash my face tonight.
But I think it has a lot to do with genetics too, because if you think about it, like back in the day, like people didn't have all these fancy creams and all these
That's
regimens.
true.
So I think it has to do a lot genetically. Your mom doesn't have any wrinkles.
If
Your
you-
mom has really nice skin.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at your
Yes,
mom
Mama
for that
Josie.
stuff.
Okay, here's the
Very-
perfect situation. Like that's a great lead into this.
That's what
I
I'm here
always
for, to lead
thought
in.
to lead in. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining in and always liking the channel, liking the show. Be sure to share the show. We have a new little hostess of the mostest today.
Yes, she was just dying to be here.
Yeah.
You couldn't see her through the
Dying.
window trying to make her way into the office.
Hey,
well-
she had a goal and she got on,
Usually I'm looking through.
letting us know that it's that she can hear us. But I always thought my mom like had a facial routine because her skin is so good. Mom, if you're listening, you know she has really good skin. Well, one Christmas, I think it was last Christmas, we had went to, because we never know what to get her. So we had went to Ulta and I said, give me just the best cream you have. Like, I don't care. Just give me the best of the
They're
best.
all, for that, we have to go to the back.
And they're like, come on. Oh, I have a story about Jamaica about that one time. But so I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my mom. And Carmen's like, yeah, she takes care of her skin. I was like, yeah, she has like a whole routine, you know? And I mean, of course, this is what I'm thinking. Well, when we give her Christmas gift, she's like, oh, wow. I was like, yeah, this is supposed to be one of the best creams and blah, 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 blah. And then I asked her later, what do you normally use? You use a facial cream. What do you normally use? She's like, honestly, I don't do anything to my face. I don't use facial cream.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, what? Like, interesting. So you don't use any face? She's like, no, I don't have a routine. So
Yeah.
this whole time I thought that she had a routine and she didn't.
I think it's a lot like, yeah. So, you know, not to bum the situation, but yeah. So like,
Oh, God. Debbie Downer. Here we go.
Don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but
Come
yeah.
on,
So yeah.
Adriana.
So my grandmother, she just passed away this last weekend,
Mhm.
and my sister and I were talking about it. We're like, she didn't have any wrinkles on her face.
Wow.
And so I don't
Mhm.
and I don't think she had any facial routine. And but yeah, I think it has a lot to do with genetics. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I
Yes, it does.
have inherited those good genes. Although I do
Yes.
use a facial cream for my face that I've been using for years and years and years. And it's not very expensive.
Let us know in the comments if you what facial cream you use.
Yes.
Like moisturizer. Do you have, I think we've talked about this before. Do you have like a beauty routine every night? And you don't just have to be female listening. I see you guys
Yeah,
watching.
guys do it too.
You can be a male.
For sure. Some
If
men,
Lorenzo's watching, he's gonna be like, I don't do anything to my skin, and it looks so good. I
But
don't know how that
some
man doesn't
men-
do anything to his face either. He's not have any acne, none. Zero.
That's just
some men are just more into it than others.
does he
too.
get a lot of facial hair?
You know, funny, before he had that massive beard on his face,
Oh,
he
duh.
didn't have
Oh.
he didn't have he didn't have a lot of hair. He didn't have a lot of hair. Okay. He's not a very hairy person. And so people always ask him, like, how'd you get that beard on your face? He's like, I just kept shaving. I just kept shaving and shaving and shaving to grow the hair. And I'm like, well,
Oh, wow.
So
So
he-
then don't
Hey.
shave my face.
No, I think it's really bad when girls shave their face, but nobody listens to
No,
me.
it's not bad to shave your face. It takes off all the dead skin off of your face. They sell blades. You can actually get it done
Really?
professionally
Yeah.
done, and it literally will take all of the dead skin off of your face.
But I
Really?
feel like I'm gonna end up with a beard.
No, that's a myth. That's an old wives' tale,
You could get it waxed. You could get your face waxed.
but it's not the same.
Do we have any beauty estheticians out there?
Let's get a vote here.
And let's show us some tips that we can use on face. I didn't know you can do that with your face.
Absolutely.
I am the worst at
People
everything
actually use
facial.
razors, which I'm like, that's weird, but they sell these blades that I use. And honestly,
Yes.
and look, I know you're sitting around close to me. I don't have a 5 o'clock shadow. Look at
Mm.
that. shit. Oh, excuse me.
I just tell her what she wants to
so
hear.
yeah, so I think you just got to be careful, obviously, you know, but everybody's different. I think that was like a big old wives' tale told to us a long time ago, you know. I think also
I
it has
don't
to
know.
go back to do with genetics. I think it has to do with your health. There's some people who will grow depending on their level of hormones. You know, if you have more,
Oh, yeah.
what is it? What do guys have?
Testosterone.
Thank you, Desiree. Then you grow in that thicker hair. So I think it goes back to genetics.
I think you have a lot of
stuff.
testosterone.
Thank you. Is it my deep voice that gives it away?
Yes.
Okay.
Or your Adam's apple.
That's why I'm always wearing the collared shirt.
Is that why you're always wearing turtleneck?
Adriana is not about really face, but she's all about her hair. She preaches to me almost every week about how I need to use good hair products.
I will not. So I'm a saver. We talked about this before. That's why me and Carmen's a bond on that stuff. But one thing I will not go cheap on is my hair products.
Well, your hair always looks good. I would be very
does.
surprised a day that you don't like.
Okay.
I would be like, it would start like raining fire if I saw Adriana come in with like a chungle.
Well,
we're all human and we are not perfect. So funny enough, I was telling my sister and my brother-in-law yesterday, we went out for drinks to have a celebration of life for my grandmother. And I said to them, I said, God, thank God Victoria wasn't in the office on Monday because I look like a dumpster fire.
You were not here, but her hair was like falling. It was me. She looked like me.
And I was like, and I said, thank God. And they started laughing. I said, thank God she didn't see me because I looked, I mean, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't put on makeup. And I know I'm laughing and joking. And it's because honestly, that's how I deal with a lot of stuff. But, I'm glad and thankful that, she has her family who was there with her when she passed. And, and we want to remember her and think about good things. And so we will definitely do that for sure. And carry her memory on. But I made a comment to Desiree and I said, Lord, if my grandma saw me right now, she would be so disappointed. I need to get my crap together.
Well, she's watching you
she's watching me from heaven. So I know I'm making her proud.
Saying, I look horrible. I look like I just all this stuff. And I'm like, I look like that every day. So that's what she thinks about me. That's kind of something I would wear. And that's how I wear my hair sometimes too. And I never put on makeup.
So thankfully you weren't here on Monday because I was like, okay, and that's what we talk about, right? We talked about that. And I said, I know you offered to give me time off, but for me, I like to stay busy and I love what I do. So for me, it's continuing to help people like my grandmother, people like my grandfather and your grandparents and to help them with their needs. Unfortunately that doesn't stop. So for me, I knew I had to be here and it makes the day, a little bit easier. So for me, I definitely did not want to miss work. And I thank you for offering me those days off. But I love what I do. Love what I do.
Are you when I'm gone? So Adriana steps up when I'm gone because unfortunately I was out sick while this happened, and I told her, "Hey, you can take off regardless." So did you? Tell us your perspective because Desiree is actually deals with a lot of the front lines. I would say, like calling on people that have inquired or, them not remembering they inquired. Like, what's your take when you're calling these individuals, trying to like schedule them for Adriana and trying to get them in?
So some of them forget. I forget all the phone calls I get on. So it's understandable. Some of them remember me, which is fine. It's good. Some of them remember the people they talk to. So those are very more, I guess, introducing calls, very easy calls. For the ones that don't remember talking, I just tell them a little bit about what we do, a little bit how we can help them, remind them who we are. So that's how I kind of go about those calls.
What's the consensus? Like a lot of times when you call people, are they getting a lot of phone calls? Is there something that they are normally telling you that's going on, or what's the main things that you always hear?
So all of our seniors all the time, well, I've talked to so many people and my phones are being blown up. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a call center. We're the Medicare Space. Again, just introducing myself. I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes having a more personal conversation is better than all the telemarketed they're getting or just unknown people. So
that's good.
More personal conversations for sure.
So a lot of confusion out there.
For sure. Yes. A lot of confusion. That's what we're here for, to help them.
And
clear that up.
So I know because it's normally like when because people that are watching right now are probably like, I was with my grandma the other day at
Mhm.
Taqueria, and they got like 20 calls just in that time.
Oh, yes. So my dad actually got put on the Medicare list. I don't know where, but he's not Medicare age. So during the time period where they were calling a lot, they were blowing up his phone. He was telling me he was getting like 30 calls a day on his work phone. So of course he has to answer his work phone every single time. He doesn't know who it is, but yeah.
Oh my God.
And he was like, I'm not even a part of Medicare. And I was like, wow. Because I remember everyone telling me they get a lot of phone calls. I didn't know they get that many phone calls. And it was the whole time period. They were every day. And he would tell me, okay, well, now they don't call as much. Okay, well, yeah, I know why, but.
Yeah. And by the time she gets it over to you, how do you think the client feels? Like,
they do a really great job. Desiree has a really spunky personality that can be heard through the phone. So she does a really great job of talking to them. When she gets them over to me, they feel a little bit more comfortable. And so I'm like, even if it's let's say an appointment, she set up an appointment, I'm like, hey, you spoke to Desiree the other day and you mentioned this, that, and the other. You're with such and such. And they're like, oh, yeah. I think that's a big thing is that, like she said, forming that relationship where you're having those conversations and they feel comfortable enough to tell you what's going on and letting them know that you're here to help. I hate to say this, but it's kind of like differentiating yourself from everybody else. Everybody has their process to kind of be like, well, you want to work with me. This is what I have to offer, A, B, and C. So for us, I think that's a huge plus. I think it's a huge testament to you, Victoria, and that you taught me. And I know she learned, but it didn't come from me. It came from you.
It did come from
so
Victoria,
it literally trickles down, and so she hears me. And so a lot of the things and that I'm mentioning to them to help them feel more comfortable, she uses them in her calls. And so
it's good.
It works really well for us in kind of forming those relationships with our clients.
The cool thing is when you when you're out there in the community, and again, thank you guys so much for watching and sharing this channel and liking the show. Because it really does help reach more people.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we just got somebody inquire. It comes to my cell phone, so I'm like, ooh, little opportunity. So when over the phone, like it's a different animal because they can't see you, they can't see your facial expressions. So it's a testament to them, and Josh and Desiree and Adriana is that they do come through the phone as if they're sitting next to you right there, versus you get phone calls like telemarketed calls and it's just like very scripted. And the only time we're actually going to call you is if you had requested to be called, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And sometimes, that being said, like, because there's some sneaky little people out there that are like, oh yeah. Cause just timing happened where maybe an agent is cold calling or making a call to out of the blue. I don't know where they got their information, or maybe the client clicked on a lot of different ads on Facebook or wherever they were searching. But there's some people, and this happens a lot in retail. So for them getting the experience on the phone when actually they're out there, like at the farmers markets, it's going to be a lot easier because people are actually approaching you, interested in what you have to talk about. Or even for you guys that are like consumers, right? When you go to the farmer's market or you go to H-E-B or you go somewhere and you walk up to somebody, you're more open to taking in the information rather than somebody calling you on the phone. So these girls have already gotten like a lot of tough skin already because on the phone is not easy. So going out there in the community is actually going to be like super easy.
Yes, that's one of the things that I came in here into this role and I was super excited about. So I finally got one of my first community events coming up and I'm super excited. If anyone knows me, they know I love interaction face to face. Over the phone all day, I've had plenty of experience with it. Got in my tonality.
Ooh, look at that!
Better.
Look at that! Wow, tonality.
Face-to-face interaction is
her cup of tea.
Even in the elevators, Adriana always makes fun of me over here because I talk to everyone.
She gets invited to parties.
I'm like,
Oh,
Desiree,
yeah.
stop talking to people in the elevator. She's like, why not? I'm like,
No, that's good.
I'm like, go watch
That's why
live
it's
show.
right up her alley.
I'm more the person that like avoids anybody in the elevator. I'm like, I'll take the next one.
Yeah, me too.
Like, even though I'm
Yeah.
a social, like
That's
I would
weird.
consider myself social, like
You're social when you need to be.
when I want to be.
So a funny story. Oh, I know somebody else like that. Hint, hint. My sister. She's probably watching. Sorry, Claudia. I just ratted you out. She's the same way too. She talks about that because my brother-in-law. He's the I mean, you met him, right?
Yeah.
He's like out there. When we went out last night. She goes, it never fails, never fails. She goes, somebody always knows him. So we're headed out the door on the way home. And sure enough, somebody stops him. And he had to have been there for a good 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, he's going to be here for a while. She went to pee. She came back. I was like, let's go to the CVS. Maybe they'll get the hint. They were still talking. So, I get it. You're just like, I don't need to be social right now. So I'm not going to be social right now.
I'm social all the time. I
No,
meet friends everywhere I go. I tell everyone that I'll meet friends anywhere. That's why I don't have a problem going places alone because I won't be alone by the end of the night. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
Just kidding.
Great.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
not what she means, people.
She
That's
meant
not what I
like
mean.
she's gonna come home with a whole bunch of opportunities, like lead cards, flyers, stuff like that.
If y'all think Victoria's Medicare terminology is only on the show, it's not, guys.
What do you mean?
When she's talking to us and we'll be driving to lunch, she's like, and the good news is
That's not her Medicare terminology. That's
It
just how
is.
she is.
Selling it.
She's selling it.
she's a really good salesperson.
That's her way of telling
like,
you. The
you
good
just tell me
news
what to do.
is-
Would you just tell me what to do, Victoria?
Just this
Sometimes
point,
she's
I'm
like-
already sold.
She's like, what do you want to eat for lunch? I'm like, just tell me what to eat. I'll eat it.
Well, I'm so used to making decisions for my family is very if you're listening, sorry, family.
We're just dishing it on our family.
I
today.
know. Some of them are they're okay. So like we have levels of decisive. We have the very undecided that like you give them a menu and they're like, what? That's my mom. That's Carmenza. I mean, Carmenza on the menu. She'll
So when
order.
you go out to lunch, it's a fun time, huh?
Oh, when I go out to lunch with my mom and Carmenza, do not go somewhere where there's a long variety of menu options. It's just
no.
we got to go somewhere like
It's very
because it's
limited.
gonna be like, oh, what are you gonna get? Oh, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna get? Oh, I'm just like, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that.
Yes.
But
It's all the small talk before the dinner,
it's
right?
like-
You're like, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna get?
yeah, and I'm already the one in the car looking at the menu, so that way I kind of have an idea, of what I'm gonna get. But so there's the level of decisiveness, which is that very undecided, and then you have me, that's on the other end of the spectrum, like boom, boom. I don't think about it, just do it, right? Obviously, in certain situations, we'll look at it, but if it's over, like if they're trying to like gouge my eyes out, but if it's like the difference between $20-$30, I'm just gonna be like, okay, just do it this way. Let's not mess with it, right? Like the meals and stuff like that for
yes.
when we buy for doctors' offices and stuff like that.
No.
Me and Adriana are all about budget over here, and we're like, well, maybe we could do this instead of this, and then we're like, Victoria's just gonna tell us to just buy it. And so we get to the office, we're like, I'm telling Victoria, well, then we thought we could do this. She's like, I would say just get it all from there. Okay.
I'm not trying to drive to like 3 different places in the morning. And in fact, let's just have it delivered there.
Even that.
Yeah.
Even as far as getting it delivered, not even picking it up.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's why we need Victoria, because it was not me and Adriana.
I'm that person. Lorenzo's like, why? He's like, let's just do that. I'm like, but I need to research it. I need to see if I can find it cheaper somewhere else.
No. Well, I mean, that's good. I appreciate
Yes.
them being like that here at the office. I definitely do. But I'm more
You're
like
about convenience. Like, let's go. I'm actually spending more time and my money, right?
Uh-huh.
What's valuable, time or money?
yeah.
Looking for a cheaper route, then I can just
Yeah.
go with this and just let's get it over with.
Well, I never understood like, and I know if you're this person, nothing against you. This is just the way how I operate. So you might operate a different way. But like when gas is on sale and it's like 50% or 50 cents or 25 cents lower. And I'm like,
I've given up on that.
Doing the math, I'm like, okay, if you fill up, most gallon tanks are like what, 20 gallons? That's the average gallons of tanks. That's $10, right? No, not even $10 savings. That's like maybe a $2.50 savings or something. Because if you do 25 cents, I'm like, so you're gonna drive 5 miles, and you're gonna wait in that long beep line, beep beep. And I'm like, what the beep? Like, why are you doing that? Like,
I don't even pay attention to gas prices.
I don't either no more. I'm so disappointed by the level.
It's just so high, it gotten out of control.
Literally, I'm just like, I don't even look at it. I'm just like, oh, I don't have any gas. I need to pump gas. It's gas pumping time. Let's go. Nearest gas station. I don't have time to look for the cheapest one. I used to be like that, but now I'm just like, it's ridiculous. It's like whatever.
Yeah. I didn't start driving until gas was already high. So I don't know what it was like for it to be low. Because I barely started driving.
Okay, first of all, you're making it sound really old.
A year ago?
And I'm offended right now.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so I didn't start driving until it was already high. Which I don't know what low gas really is.
Well,
like,
what gas
was
used to be $1.98.
Let us know when you started driving, for those of you that are listening in right now.
When you were my age, how much did it cost?
I think it was about that much, because back then we didn't have very much money, and Lorenzo had a gas guzzler. And I used to be that person. I used to be like, we got to get the discount card. We got to go to this gas station, and you got to only put this much, and don't be going anywhere extra because we need to save the gas. I mean, and that was back in the day when gas was, I remember it had been like 150, 160, and then went up to 198, and then it never went back down. And it kept growing and creeping to the $2 range.
Wow.
And I want to say that was like what, in 2006?
I've been driving for 22 years.
I'm pretty sure you never looked at the price of gas, huh? Because you just had to, you drive all over Texas.
How much is it right now? Does anybody know?
Somebody put it in the comments. How much is the gas?
Let's see, 328, 350. I don't know.
Okay, you want to talk about gas prices? I remember when we went to California when I was a kid, and I want to say it was when gas was like $1 something here in Texas, and it was like $3 or $4 for gas in California at that time. And I was just like, holy mother, like that's expensive. Of course, the cost of living is so much higher in California, but it's just crazy.
Well, now it's like that. Those types of prices. I think it's like when I last looked at it, I think it was like, no, I'm lying. I don't even look at. I'm not even looking.
I think it's like 280 something, 270 something. I think
the last time I remember I filled up, it was like almost 350. Because
you use diesel.
No, I just use the regular. Well, I use the super.
Oh,
I had a very
fancy gas.
I don't know why. What's the difference?
Just use the regular one.
But now you can't go back. Now you have to continue.
That's what's running through your engine, so I think it messes up your car. If anybody knows about cars, let us know about that too.
Yeah,
I had
anybody know how to fix cars?
Anybody know if it's bad to switch gas?
I remember when I was younger, my first car was a Volkswagen Jetta, but it was TDI. It was turbo diesel, right? With a hefty car payment too. I was not used to paying.
Wow.
That made me I appreciate when I was younger, because I actually had to pay my car payment. That's why I worked full time when I was younger. Because my car payment was $450 at that time. At that time,
what, 16?
That's a lot.
That's a lot for 6 years.
It was a brand new Volkswagen Jetta, leather, like the works. Because you know me, I don't like to do not fancy. Well,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I used to not do fancy because I was broke. Now I can do a little fancier. But so anyway, that car was a turbo diesel engine. And so of course you have a 16-year-old girl going to the gas pump, right? To me, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Well, I would always have to put the diesel. So it'd be the green. And every time I'd get some old yeller telling me that, hey, that's diesel. You're not supposed to be putting it. I was like, it's diesel, right? So like every single time, I'm not kidding you, every time I went to the gas station. So when I was 17, I ended up wrecking that car because me and my sister got in a really bad car wreck coming back from San Antonio, where the car flipped and it was crazy. Lucky to be alive.
Wow.
Lucky to be alive. Yeah. And so the car flipped like, doom, doom, doom. We actually kind of passed out and came to.
Who was it?
Me and Julia.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing happened to us. Like literally, I had she had a little bump and I had a thing on my leg, like a bruise on my leg. But by the time we got out of the car, when I opened my eyes, all I hear is some guy saying, I smell gas, like trying to get us out of there.
It's diesel.
I said, it's diesel.
Oh, I shouldn't have been laughing. I'm sorry, but they're fine. Julian, Victoria are fine.
I was like, it's not gas, it's diesel.
That's the first thing I knew about.
And that's what woke me up. And my sister's like, oh my God. And all the things were shattered. I'm like, and it was a blessing. Like, it was a real blessing.
That's really scary.
But isn't it crazy though, when you think about it, right? Like life, right? Life is, these things happen to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not funny at the moment, but later on you can look back and say, man, I can't believe I said that. Or, this happened. And so that's the beauty of life, is that we can eventually just kind of look back and laugh a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
I had such a frustrating encounter yesterday at the gas station on my lunch break. So y'all can tell me if I'm dramatic.
Yes. I don't need the story, but yes.
I went to the gas station and I'm pulling up to a pump, but this guy was pulling up to the same pump in front of me, but there's two in a row. So I thought he was just going to go to the second one so I could go right behind him, go to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why he just stops. And I'm like, so he's not going to pull up? Like, you're not going to go to the second one so I could go to this one? Mind you, he gets off his truck, he goes to the other side, comes back to the other side, goes to the other side, comes back. And I'm like, so he's still not going to move his truck. Gets back in his truck. I'm like, oh, he got the hint. I'm right behind him. He can move up. Well, he gets back in his truck, gets off, goes inside. I'm like, okay. So I'm like reversing. I was very mad.
Well, you need to
jerk.
First of all, you need to be careful.
Yes.
Very, very careful, because not to be like Debbie Downer over here.
So it's a public service announcement.
But if you're young, or even if you're not young, like just a female by yourself, you need to be very careful of your surroundings. Like, I'm always on, like, even when I see a girl walking by herself, I'm just watching, like, to see her surroundings. Like, when especially, no offense to the males out there, but I'm sorry, we have to be on alert like this all the time. But you just need to be careful.
I always tell her, I'm like, don't be pumping gas at night.
I know.
Yeah, don't be pumping gas.
I never do, but I did.
So I have this one thing. It's going to sound so horrible. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize to anybody I offend, but I don't pump my gas. I don't like pumping my gas. I think that's Lorenzo's job. Lorenzo should pump my gas.
Interesting.
So guess what? I had to pump my own gas this morning. I was annoyed about that. Am I being dramatic? Yeah, I always tell him, I'm like, babe, that's your job.
Lorenzo.
So many reasons.
She's a little bougie.
The pump gas is nasty. I don't want to touch the handle. We've already been over this in
Adriana
several episodes.
Sees germs.
I can't.
Do you see in germs?
No, it's the repeated thought that it's germing. Like, it won't let me. My mind won't let me drop it. It's like OCD. It's like, my sister always talks crap to me, and she's like, you have problems. It's like, I know I have problems. I'm admitting I have a problem.
I'm surprised Carmenza's not. I mean, she is very like, do you have the wipes, babe? Like, she'll pump her gas. Yeah. Maybe I should start pumping her gas for her.
That would be very nice of you.
Yeah. I mean, I try to do like my duties, but sometimes I don't know.
Your wifely duties.
My wifely duties.
Oh God, I don't have time for people.
You're a good wife. You're an amazing wife too. Don't cut yourself short. You're an amazing wife. You're a good wife. No, I don't like.
Let us know in the comments. Do you pump your own gas? Let us know in the comments.
And I had a girl. She used to work with me, and I thought it was so funny. She's like, "Oh no, I don't believe in that crap."
Oh no.
And she was like a feminist, right? And no offense to anybody. She was like, "I don't pump my own gas." And her boyfriend, she's like, he pumps my gas. I don't ever pump my own gas. And I was like, I think she's onto something.
Yeah.
Stop watching those channels.
My mom swears by not pumping her own gas. So when I was younger and I lived with her, she would always be like, go pump the gas. No, I'm not going to pump it. I would end up pumping the gas, which now I realize that she just didn't want to pump the gas. But I pump my own gas. I don't have time. I don't have someone always with me to pump my gas for me. 2, I need gas when I need gas, so I better pump it myself.
That's what I'm saying. I had to pump gas myself this morning. So, but no, I think for the very reason that you talked about, Victoria, they're creepers and they're weirdos out there, and it doesn't matter what time of the night either.
It doesn't.
Especially, we tell her not to pump gas at night, but even during the day, there's weirdos, and for me, I feel like it's a vulnerable place to be as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you would think you could just turn around and use a pump and squirt them with the gas or something.
My mom's one of my dramatic.
I got a lighter right here.
Don't mess with me. I got a lighter and I got a pump.
My mom gets mad at me because I'm very dramatic, as we said a couple times. But every time I go to the gas station, I'm like, Mom, I almost got kidnapped. She's like, what happened? What happened? Did they touch you? Did they grab you? What happened? I'm like, no, Mom. He was just staring at me. And I almost got kidnapped. She's like, no, that's not kidnapped. He was just staring
Well,
at
use your alert.
I'm like, no, Mom. Like, I don't know. I'm never going to the gas station again.
And
They try to kidnap
and
me.
this, guys, is what we have every single day.
Well, getting into that, we're coming up to the 5-minute hour. I know we didn't talk a lot about insurance, but we kind of did. We were just talking about senior stuff.
Well, it was her introduction into the world. Sorry, her introduction into the world.
Yeah.
So I think it was nice. It was a Desiree episode.
And if you're going to be working with us more, you're going to be working with Desiree. So if you're a senior center, dental office, doctor's office, or you you work with seniors in some capacity, you are sell insurance and you don't do Medicare and you want to partner up with the Medicare Space, Desiree is going to be your go-to gal.
Yes. And I think it's important you also know, not only do I have experience in now just the insurance side, I worked in doctor's office.
She's a professional cheerleader too, guys.
Oh, yeah.
By professional, I mean she was in high school for cheerleading. So she also does that too.
Yeah. Well, she'll be your own personal cheerleader.
Yes, she will.
Oh, yes.
She is.
I send text messages over there. I'm like, you got this.
With a smile on her face as she's grinding her teeth. I don't answer their text messages.
So part of Desiree's job, she calls on every quarter we have a new thing where we're going to be scheduling strategy sessions and business consulting with the.
Hey, I'm going to stop you real quick right there. What you do, I'm going to toot your horn for you. I can't even talk now. Nobody else does for their agents. And she said it at the top of the show, and I mean that. She does not. You will not see it. Mark my words. You want to come work for us? Be a good person.
Yeah,
Sure.
But what she's doing, like she said with Desiree, and now she sets a time for the last 2 weeks. Y'all ladies have been busy talking to your agents, our agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And asking them, what are you going to do? Supporting them. I don't think anybody else does what you do.
Or most not just like, and I'm sure there are a lot, but I don't know. I don't see
locally. No, I don't think I've seen it or heard it. It's unheard of. What you do, you go above and beyond. I'm telling you, you did the headshots. You've invested in them. You've invested in your company with Desiree and bringing her on and in this role and really, investing in myself as well and believing in me to help you run the agency. So, a lot of people are not going to do that, Victoria.
And she's not micromanaging. She doesn't micromanage because you come to agent, you want to be solo.
No, that's what I'm here for.
But we're just motivators. We want to motivate you. Sometimes people just need to be held accountable, and that's totally fine.
That was the big thing for us for 2022 was accountability. And one thing when Desiree and I are sitting in with the agents, kind of getting their goals for the new year and kind of seeing how we can actually help them. It's funny how it's so different, right? Like from like, you wouldn't even think like, oh, okay, we can help you with that, to like totally like sometimes not even insurance related, right? Like sometimes they just need a little personal encouragement or stuff like that. Like, hey, I really don't need any leads. When an agent can tell you they don't need any leads, you've done your job.
Oh, yeah.
Now at this point, we're helping them. Well, how can we help you retain your clients? How can we help you get more opportunities through your existing book of business? And so when we sit down with Desiree's holding them accountable now. Because before we come up with these solutions, okay, great, sounds good. Okay, cool. Let's chat again.
Just flapping the gums.
Yeah, flapping those old gums. And now Desiree is behind the scenes like, okay, before we get off the call, she's letting them know we're going to hold you accountable. So be expecting calls, be expecting text messages from me. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, we
If
want
s-
them to win. We want everyone to win, so we can also win.
Wow,
So
I got kind of encouraged there.
we want. Yes,
I got chills.
I got chills. I'm multiplying.
By the
Little
way,
wins.
Total bummer that you said yesterday about you not singing. We were talking about how
Oh, yes.
everything just comes full circle, right? About how Rick was like, it's amazing what he was giving you kudos yesterday.
Uh-huh.
He was like,
Ooh.
what she's done since I've known Victoria, it's amazing, right? You know, y'all are pretty big players in y'all's
Mhm.
industry, the both of y'all. So I think that was awesome. It made me feel really good. I was like, yeah, I work for her.
Yeah, I met Rick at a I was actually still in banking at the time, I think. I took a little hiatus and I went into banking. And we were doing a charity show for
And you were singing, which was where I was getting to my point. You said you were a bad singer. My sister goes, she's not a bad singer. She sings good.
I didn't, but I wasn't singing.
I think she might have heard you sing it or somebody's. And then she's like, her and the other girl, what's her name? I
The
go,
singer?
Ashley. Well, she swore you were a good singer.
Hey, I
so.
take Ashley's credit.
Leave
I'm
a
just
comment.
like,
Leave a comment, Claudia. She was like, "Oh my God, Victoria's got the voice of an angel."
it was actually it was Ashley, and I was just
mouthing
off.
You somebody. But yeah, she goes, so we were talking about that. I said, isn't it funny? And I go, was she at Kelly's party? Because I went to Kelly used to do charity events,
Mhm.
right? Where she would gather things for the
Mhm.
kids at the home. And one year my sister invited me and I went and I go, was Victoria there? She goes, yeah, you don't remember she was singing at Kelly's house, her and Ashley. And I said, wouldn't it be
What?
amazing if there was a picture with the both of us there? I said, wouldn't it be crazy?
Wow.
Like it literally just came full
And then
circle.
Rick's like, calm down, I'm not going that far into my files.
No, I don't know if he was doing photography.
He was taking pictures. He was taking pictures.
Oh,
So I'm
that
like, Jesus.
would
I'm
be
like,
cool.
can you imagine? Like I was literally sitting there in the same room as my future boss.
Adriana would probably
Like,
blow
how
it
would
up and frame it.
I was probably taking shots in the kitchen or something.
But I thought it was so cool how it's just everything just came full circle,
circle.
with the people that I think that you're intended to be with. So
Yep.
it's pretty
Well, I was
cool.
there too. In
you
spirit.
were there.
You were still
like
in the
womb.
five. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
All right, guys. So we're going to close up. Thank you so much for joining in today. If you like the show, be sure to like it. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Let us know how Desiree did today. We're going to give her a little
Round of applause.
All right, guys. Well, that is our time. If you guys have any questions, is there anything else you guys want to add before we end the show here?
No, just thank you to everybody for watching us, and don't forget the Producer Boost podcast that we also have. So
we will be rolling that out soon. It's just I've got a little.
So we are doing that, and then just thank you, Desiree, for coming on the show for
thank
us today.
y'all.
And Sylvia, I hope you're feeling better, and your daughter too. So yes,
we'll see y'all on the next show next Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll see y'all next week.